My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Getting ready to paint it up in my new area over here. I'm doing some demonstrations in here real quick. So, as I told you before, we did this a few demonstrations against a fellow by the name of Crow1176, who basically scammed a lot of his customers out of their money, basically having a screen paint product that happen to match several forms of fabrics that we've actually done testing with fabrics, paints, stuff like that. Not only that, we've given this individual multiple abilities to be able to back up his product and make sure at the end of the day his customers weren't getting scammed. Now I told you we're going to do a video called Run Scammer Run, but I tried to change it to something else. Pretty much this guy wanted to this huge rant on this container I have right here. So in this container, he made some claims that this wasn't the real product. And I noticed that after we made the statement of not doing any more tests against his products, or throwing his stuff in the trash, he went and made some changes to his screen paint products. Number one, he's using the label here that he claimed that wasn't his label. It's actually the same label he's using here that has those watermarks you see right there. Well, we have the exact same watermarks on ours right here too also, showing that, yeah, this was a label that product that he did ship to a customer, and this came from a customer who was very upset by something that Crow did in one of his demonstrations where we made an agreement to buy a product from him. He shipped us over a product that had no labels attached to it, and the product was black. And the customer felt that that was very disrespectful of him to do so. So instead, he sent us his. Now, this is a label he kept going into this huge rant about how it wasn't his product. And here it is sharing the exact same label. But the interesting thing about this is now I'm hoping this is not like, maybe it's a dark, well, I can see right there, it is the paint. The paint is darker. Now, the reason why, and I told you from the beginning, he has two options. All right, three. Back the product up, which we know he's not going to do. Stop making the product, which we know he's not going to do, or change the color of the product to distance himself from the tablecloth, to distance himself from the Sherwin-Williams paint, to distance himself from the YouTube video he deleted from his account. But at the end of the day, I said that it doesn't make a difference what color you change it. You're still going to have to do tests at the end of the day. You can't skip that part. So what we have here is we have the Cinemax here in the container. As I said before, this matched the Sherwin-Williams network gray 773 perfectly. All three products match with no problem whatsoever. And I told you the only way you could get out of that situation, he's going to have to change the color of his paint, which he did. He made it a little bit darker. Now, you can't get away from that either, because even by looking at the paint, we can tell exactly what it is. It's two colors that we know actually will match that product. One will actually do better than the product itself. It will give you a better white level. We got that at Sherwin-Williams. I'll put the numbers at the bottom. I think one's a network gray. The one's actually called, it's called web something. I do know the other one, we have two colors that'll match, but I'll put that information at the bottom because I can tell exactly what it is. So with the product he's doing, it kind of looks like the UV mix. Now the UV mix is dark. It's darker than that. This is a little lighter than the UV mix, but it looks like the UV mix right here. So what he did was, this is an individual. He went on and on about this product right here, saying that the white levels were this and the white levels were that, but he switched over to a darker product. And I guarantee you, bar none, by looking at that container right there, it is not going to pull proper white levels. White levels are going to be extremely bad on that paint, and I can tell you that right from the door. But I guarantee before the product was launched, there were no white level test demonstrations done, low lumen tests done, none of that stuff. You know, long throws, all that, none of it was tested. We know that already from the door. He's not a person who tests his product. He's a person who claims he does all this testing and his product's supposed to be this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, they turn out to be nothing more than black and white paint and matching tablecloths and Sherwin-Williams. So, as I said before, that usually when a scammer gets caught and they can't back up their product, they'll change everything, in order to distance himself from that product. Right now, the Sherwin-Williams network gray, I'm pretty sure he's getting a lot of flack over. He's got to distance himself from that product. So by changing the product and make it a little bit darker, he can honestly say, well, that has nothing to do with me because that's my old product, so and so and so. Oh, not that easy, buddy boy. You still got to back your product up at the end of the day. So let me see what we found in Sherwin-Williams. Now, we're giving him until Friday to back the product up, show that he's not scamming his customers again. He has until Friday to do, let me see if we can find him here. Over here, let me see if we got this over here. Sherwin-Williams network gray. No, we don't want the network gray. We did network gray. What are we doing? Sherwin-Williams software. There we are. That was the color right there. It was software. Now it's one of these colors right here. This is software. Software would give you higher white levels. It will give you the contrast levels, but higher white levels. His product is definitely going to come out way too dark. It's going to pull out the white levels are going to suffer pretty bad. It's going to do the same thing the UV does. Now you have that one, and then you have another one. I think it's called we got the names of these on something here over here. I want to make sure we got them in there. That one. Let's see. It's a previous one we did. Let's see if we can track that one down. I got the names in there for you. That's why we got to write stuff down. We got it right here for you. Here we go. We got Sherwin-Williams Web Gray. Web Gray. Let's look at that one right there. Sherwin-Williams Web Gray. Now you see the color of that? Right on the ticket. There you go. That's the exact same color he has in that container right now. That would pretty much, if you paint that on your wall, you wouldn't be able to tell one from the other. Honestly, wouldn't. Now, the other one is going to be a little bit lighter. The white levels are going to be much higher. But you're talking about actually not a difference between night and day. There you go right there. That would do it easily with no problem. And the reason why we know this is because we've done this already before. I've actually matched this product to a paint called Network Gray. Not even doing any samples or nothing, not taking it down to a store. Just by looking at it, I can tell exactly what color it is. And when we got the Network Gray down here, lo and behold, it matched 3 of his screen paints with no problem whatsoever. Now, if we take the Network Gray and we put it against the UV mix, the UV mix falls around in this category right here, but it's a little bit darker, but it still falls in that category. What kind of reaction will we get? We can make that product right now. And literally, you can make it here. I can make it out of Network Gray. What we have done here, I can drop black paint in and get the exact same match with no problem. And I can show you, I can make several different shades of dark gray paint and put it against the screen, a white screen, and you will see the bad reaction right from the door. You know why? Because at the end of the day, when you drop black paint into white element, you know what happens? There's nothing there that gives you the ability to be able to read white light. See, dark technology is a little different from gray technology. It's a little bit more complicated than that. So the problem you're going to have is we're going to make several dark gray mixes, even one matching his. And I'm going to show you when we do this on a white snowstorm, you're going to see where these screens are going to have a very hard time trying to pick up white levels, and they're going to become very dirty and dark. That's why if you look at this product, it can't compete with the black screen because black screens are 100% black. Our black technology can pull amazing white levels next to where you can throw at it. At the end of the day, we had those tests to back it up. But at the end of the day, a gray screen or gunmetal can't compete with it, unlike the Dark Star 9 or the darker screens, because they can't produce a 100% contrast level. So the gunmetals kind of lay in that one area where basically they can and cannot. So anyway, we're going to be showing some of that later on. It's going to be later on today. I got some things to do, but later on today. Now, we're still going to do demonstrations with the Network Gray. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that because keep in mind, this is a person who convinced his customers at the end of the day that the lighter gray screen paint was the best way to go, and then turned around and changed it over to a much darker one due to the fact that he was running from the simple fact that he could not prove his product to be what it was supposed to be. I mean, come on, it was a house paint that matched his product. You think he's going to be able to prove that? No. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to change the brand of the product to make it a little bit darker so he can separate himself from that. But like I said, it's not going to be that easy for you. At the end of the day, you're still going to have to do tests. And at the end of the day, you should be doing tests on the black and white paint product, but you should be doing a reversal now. You have to do black paint base, and you have to start off with 2, 3, and 4 from there. Now, if he doesn't do these tests by Friday, clearly shows at the end of the day, he's just bamboozling you again. And if he doesn't do it, then guess what? We'll do it for him. We'll order his product. I'm going to order one for myself, get it canceled. We're not going to get a cancellation. That just shows you at the end of the day, he can't back his product. That's why we do it. To see if the person who develops the product can back it. Now, if they cancel the order, it means at the end of the day, they can't back their product. They're terrified. It's going to go on that collector's list. When we send someone else to get it, because we have to somebody else get it because they won't know who the person is. They'll think they'll send it to a customer. We'll get a legit product when it gets here. We'll undo the unboxing on the table. We'll test it against the Sherwin-Williams paints I showed you here at $23 a gallon. We'll test it on the reversal using his own tutorial video. And we have a gray tablecloth downstairs. Did you know that? A dark gray. I ordered it ahead of time just in case. I told you I'm always a couple steps ahead. Just in case. And I said it in the video. He's going to change his product to a darker product. I said it. And sure enough, he did. And that's why we ordered the dark tablecloth ahead of time, just in case. So I'm not going to do a long video because I got things to do. I just got finished designing the label for the new paint over there. So we got some stuff we're working on. But I just want to put this video real quick that at the end of the day, are you getting bamboozled? This is the same individual who cried and whined about the labels this and the labels that. And what did we say to him? If I am a fake, if I'm not doing the video correctly, if I am in any way wronging you, all you got to do is just go in and just back it up. Here's the products. Here's where we got the tablecloths from. This is how we made the paint. This is how many tablespoons we put into it. This is where you can order this from and order that from. No excuses. Gave it to him multiple times, right directly through his website. And each time, no demonstration. Nothing. But all of a sudden, he goes in and he changes the product. You know why? Because I told you, that house paint is pretty damaging. It's extremely damaging. So the only way that he could get out of that situation is just to darken his product just a little bit so it doesn't look like the new stuff. And the new stuff has nothing to do with the Sherwin-Williams. But no, like I said, you don't get away that easy. So you can try it for yourself, or we can do it. We're going to do it for you anyway. We got to put it on the blacklist. That's why it's going to be done. But yeah, at the end of the day, people, you're getting bamboozled. And unless he does those tests to back up his product, because at the end of the day, Jamie, let me explain something to you. You can change that to any color you want. At the end of the day, you're still going to run tests. Doesn't mean that. And the thing about it is you have to understand about how this man thinks. He cuts corners any way he can. So he thinks by changing it to a different color, he thinks that this basically, he doesn't have to do any tests at all. Nothing at all. He's clean. He doesn't do nothing at all. It doesn't work that way. You still have to do tests. No matter how many black screens I've developed, down from 7s to 12s to 17s or whatever, I got to do tests. I got technology right now coming in this week. I got to test. Doesn't make a difference. I still got to test it. So you still got to do the same thing. Just because you change your paint a different color doesn't mean you don't escape that. You still have to do it. Even you have to do it even more so than anyone else who developed screen paint, because now you have a history of scamming people. Which means you got that demonstration of you making that black and white product. You know, you got your products matching all different forms of different paints and surfaces, and you're not backing any of them up. You got a slew of cancellations on top of you. You lost a claim where you try to scam us on screen paint and lost. You had to test even more than anyone else. So let's see what he comes up with today. We gave you the list of paints. Let me see what we got here. We can put this in the description, what you need right here. Let me see, make sure we got everything here for you. Here we go, Sherwin-Williams, $23 a gallon. You want to go with the super paint. This is the demonstrations we've done on his other products with the network gray. Showing you the network gray, those tests we got ourselves from that product. And mind you, I didn't have to go down and take a sample sheet of his product and snap a picture, nothing. I just asked the guy from Sherwin-Williams, hey, you got gray paint? And he was like, oh, what color you want? Because we got different kinds. I said, well, what do you got? And he said, well, we got network gray. And I was like, let me look at it. So I looked down, I was like, no, this will work. And I sat there and showed him the video. I said, I don't know if this, we're not trying to match the product. We're trying to see how close we can come to it. And they all matched, every last one of them. Not good. Not good at all. So since I've got, with that Sherwin-Williams, I mean, like I said, it's not going to be hard to match the other stuff you have right now. You just made it a little darker, that's all. And then you try to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Let me see where we're at here. Let's go over here real quick. I need to get this camera out of my way. I can't see jack the camera away. Here we go. It's like, Crow is like the person who basically comes to your door with a spanking new red wagon. Says, hey, I got this wagon over here for sale. It's like $80. You want it? And the person says, sure, I can take the wagon. I like it. I'll take it. So and so and so. And Crow will basically climb over your gate, steal your wagon, and paint it a different color, and come right back to your house and go, I got this yellow wagon for sale. Oh, you want it? Oh, it's a good thing you came around. Somebody just stole my wagon last night. Oh, I got this yellow one right here. You can have it right here. And then go do it again. Red wagon scenario. That's what they call it. Now, I'm curious about those of you who bought into the product because he convinced you that this product was the best way to go because it pulls much lighter and higher white levels. Well, I guarantee the product he has in that container isn't pulling the same white levels this product is pulling right now. Ain't gonna happen. Which you want to do a side by side too. is the new product he has now pulling the same white levels. So mind, this is a person who doesn't like dark technology for nothing. He doesn't like it at all, period. He puts it down every chance he gets, but yet he made his product darker to escape the product that he has here that he knows at the end of the day it's going obsolete. So the thing is, since he's so bent on these white levels, right? If you put them side by side, which one would pull the higher white level? The product he has now or this right here? You convinced all your customers that this was the one that they should be buying, right? But now you switch over to a darker version because we all know why you switch to a darker version. You're escaping the fact that this is matching house paint. So how do you tell your customers who've already purchased your product already? Oh, wait, sorry, I don't say the word screwed, but you can't do anything at the end of the day because, you bought the product, you painted it on your wall, you can't give it back to him the way you shipped it, he got it so, and you open it up, you voided a couple of his policies, so you're kind of stuck with it. Meanwhile, he made a darker version of it. So you guys all got left in the dust. And this is the same person who complained that darker screens weren't that good. Now he's a darker version of the bigger question. That one, did he test the white levels properly on that? Those of you who are buying that product, at the end of the day, think you're getting something different. Now you just got to get the same wagon, you got a different color this time. That's all you got. So the colors we just gave you, these are the tests he should be doing. He has to take his product and he has to test it against now any paint, any fabric, any color that comes in matching the exact same color as the screen. He's going to have to do that demonstration to show the difference. Even trying to make his own product, which we did already. We try to make our own product online and try to show that you can't do it, and you can't do it. So let's see what happens. All right, just going to be a short demonstration. And like I said, at the end of the day, I wouldn't purchase anything from him unless he does these tests under the Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams matches very well to his products. We're also going to be going to a couple other places like Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that, Benjamin Moore, to see if we can get other products to match. I'll tell you one thing that'll match that product. They got something by Bullseye called Dark Gray Primer. Oh, yes, it does. As a matter of fact, it matched the UV mix perfectly. All right, those are the products right there. You get so right there. Well, that's the first thing scammers do. The first thing they do is when they get caught and they get busted and they can't, mind you, he hasn't backed up any of the products. He hasn't backed up any of the products on the original screen paint. None of them at all. And he's already switching over to a new product already to try to convince you with something completely different. But didn't he do that in his video? In his video is the video I call Bamboozle. Didn't he do that in his video, try to convince you that the two products he had up there were so different? But yet, when the lights went out and you stand back, they look exactly the same. So if you couldn't back any of those products up, what makes you think he can back up what he has now? There you go, getting bamboozled. Well, good luck with all that. I just put that information out for that. Now, for us on our end, we need this for the blacklist because we need to add this to it. We can't put it on there right now until we get the actual product down here, which we are planning to do. I got about a few people sit over in California right now, and if he's going to be, keep in mind, at the end of the day, the reason why we chose California, because any orders coming from Philadelphia, he's not going to let them go through. Any place else, he's not going to let them go through, but he's not going to deny California. That's why. So we're going to get the product here. We'll have it here, and we'll see what we got when we pop the container. And that way we don't have to worry about getting anything black paint over here or something tampered with. Because at the end of the day, he'll be shipping this to a customer that he doesn't even know, unless you're doing all your customers dirty this way, and I hope you're not at the end of the day. So we'll see when it gets down here. Until then, we give everybody enough time to be able to show that they can back their products. And that's what he's going to have to do. If he doesn't do anything by Friday, then that's one red flag right there. The second one will be when we get the product down here, or the first one will actually be when we place the order and we get the cancellation, which shows he can't back his product. Then we'll put the order through. All right? And we'll see exactly what we got here. Now, as I said before, the both of you at the end of the day, your boxes are sitting at the bottom of my kitchen drawer. When you're ready to place your order, you let me know and I'll ship it to your front door. And I guarantee you, when that stuff hits your house, ooh, man, you better not lay anything against it because it is not going to be good for you at the end of the day. We already know how I test my stuff at the end of the day. As a matter of fact, I got testing all this week and I'm looking forward to it. Never have enough fun as it is, but I'm looking forward to it. Today, since the weather's nice, the same demonstration that Jamie likes to show sitting in the dark. How do you have a product that dark, you're still sitting in the dark? How does that work? But anyway, I plan to be outside around 451 at 150 inches displaying that same image that you were displaying in the dark. I want pictures of it for my website. And I got a demonstration to do for a company. All right, with that being said, that's the only video I'm going to be doing on this today. Like I said, I'm not going to be going a lot on this at all. We're probably going to do one of these, probably here and there. That's basically about it. Right now, we do have to give them enough time to go and back his product up. I guarantee there was no test done on this paint at all, period, whatsoever. If there are any tests, please share them with me. I'm looking forward to seeing these tests. I mean, keep in mind, we got to see a distance test at 22 feet back on 1,000 lumens versus certified screens. We have to see over 18 screens certified test, ultra short, though, at least 5 to 6 certified screens. What else do we need? Outside demonstrations at 12 to 13 feet on 1,000 lumens only with a 190-degree viewing angle, which he's going to have to pick up. White level test, which means you're going to have to test your product against all forms of white and light screens, showing nothing but white levels only in the demonstrations. Color demonstration showing which one of your screens produce higher color levels. Then you have to do a high power projector, make sure your screen's not hot spotting. Oh, there's a whole lot of tests that have to be done. It gets a little crazy, it really does. Do you know you have to do a white level test on 1,000 lumens in a fully lit environment in a maxed out zone? Oh, I didn't tell you about that one, did I? Oh, that's a doozy. That's a real doozy. So here's the thing. Black screens have issues, and this is what I've heard. They have issues with bringing up white light. Number one, you're bouncing off a black surface. Not going to do a lot of generating white light. You're bouncing off a black surface. But you have to do this in a max out zone, an area where the screen's going to be hit with a ton of ambient light. And guess what kind of projector you have to use? 1,000 lumens at 14 feet back. Good luck. Oh, by the way, you got to have white sheets of paper laying across the screen, and you must display white levels only. Good luck. It's a doozy. I told you. It's a hard one, too. Oh, I forgot. You had to do it outside, too. I kind of forgot about that part. So you can't just make a screen paint and go, voila, it's done. It's because when it gets down here, it's going to be tested, and it's going to be tested. You're going to be no ultra short throw projectors, no high powered equipment, no dart aiming like controlled environments, none of that nonsense. That's why they cancel the orders. You see why? You see why they get the cancellations? You see why? Okay, because they can't back their products. All right, I got to get back. I got to get downstairs. I got to take pictures of my screen, and then I got to be outside on a 150-inch screen outside displaying that woman with the black makeup outside. That's going to be fun. All right, with that being said, I'm out of here. It's a short, sweet video. We need to add this on here so when we start the testing, we have a platform to go off on. And like I said, at the end of the day, customers need to know, or people need to know, if they're getting bamboozled. No, that'd be just, I'm not going to say that's wrong to say. All right. Until then, we got the network gray coming in today. We're still going to be doing tests on this paint right here with the network gray. Because like I said, people need to see that at the end of the day, the reason why he changed the color of his paint is because the reason why his product matched network gray. Just so you know, Jamie, at the end of the day, or Fernando, however when you call yourself, if you think the fact that you have escaped the fact of us doing tests on network gray versus your product, you haven't. It just clearly shows at the end of the day that you never backed it up. You get that part? Listen to what I'm saying. You never backed it up. You switched over to a new paint to avoid the tests for the first paint, which shows at the end of the day, you're just changing the color of the wagon and reselling it back to the same owner. That's all you're doing. All right, with that being said, gotta go and God bless.